Back with another one, back with another one. Then the title, of course, is called Symbolism of the Queen's Death. It's a lot of symbolism to her death. I want to talk about this. I mean, she died last week, right? She passed away and things like that. So we're going to talk about the symbolism, and we're going to talk about the conservatism rulership of the UK women and Margaret Thatcher. And we're going to speak on the 70-year rule. This is very important because I think there's some symbolism of dominance right there. A lot of people don't know that she's been ruling for years, and I'll do some more searches on the way. Yeah, salute, salute. What's going on? Salute, salute. I'm gonna put this on the educational and put it right there. What's going on, Mike? Salute. And pretty much it, I'll say the death of the queen. Let's say the Queen of England. Okay, okay, okay. We're gonna get into it for real quick. Yeah, I'm not gonna get into the royal family and things like that. Yeah, 70 years on the throne. We're gonna talk about that in a little bit, and it's AP news. We're gonna go in and talk about the symbolisms of that. But we're gonna get into conservatism of women in United Kingdom, the Commons of the UK sound. We're gonna go like that. We're just gonna say women in the House of Commons of the United Kingdom representation. We're gonna talk about a lot of things, but before I pull it up or anything, I just want people to understand that this stuff is very serious, like times, but it represents who she was historically, and it's a long ass rule. It's a ruthless rule and things like that. But the reason I'm speaking on this topic, I think most people need to know that that stuff they ain't playing around with that stuff. I mean, they really serious about their little um rulership and things like that nature. So pretty much I'm not holding nobody back over here and things like that. So it's pretty much the same. And got to get my step right. Get this little mic over here. Set that one on the side. But my trusty, this may be. We'll see how it takes us. I know this is gonna be more than an hour because I usually my max is 2 hours and I'll stop. I ain't gonna be on here much longer. But the information is gonna be a long read. But it ain't gonna be a long read. Take it back. We're gonna show some slides in a minute. I'll wait until like when it gets to the 20-minute mark, I will start sharing the shit. But speaking of her rulership is just pretty much normal. Uh it's a lot of corruption on their side, royal families. I know people are fans. I don't really care about that politics, but I care about is that rulership, the dominance of other people and nations. That's a real serious thing. But since this is after the Victorian era, the Victorian era, we already know 19th century, that was ruled the East Indian Company, Dutch Company. That's been like that since forever and ages. And then you have the Margaret Thatcher era. We're gonna talk about her in a minute. Her era is just something else, the Gorbachev and things like that. See, this woman's been around a long time, and that era is ruled like an iron fist. So England has their hands and everything, but I mean, the country's not relevant since their rulership, since we defeated them in the independence, and they've been on the further decline. But their nobility was still intact. They felt it's kind of like they're like the what you call it. I hate to say it, call them like the vassal states, like the duchess and things like that. That's basically what they are in a figuratively way. We're like the rulers of the planet because of the military industrial complex that we have in this country. That's the problem. It's like paradise. So what you see and it's what you get. It's just like and that's just how it is. And that's the rulership that you're figuratively understand that it's her rule, whatever. How they got it wrong. Oh, he comes this bullshit. This guy's so hypocritical. Oh, he's defending this motherfucker. Yeah. We'll talk about that another time. I'm not gonna get into that. Well, the biscuit James says we're talking about the Queen. I had like a little message. We ain't worrying about that nigga. All right, but the Queen is most important. I think her death last week shook the world. You know, people were shocked by her death. Well, she, you know, some people say she was a ruthless ruler. Some people say she's a great ruler. To me, she's both. She was a great ruler to certain people, ruthless to others, and that's how England ruled. England has a history of that. And then when we gonna talk about the comments of women, what they have in common: conservatism, dominance. That's what they try to preach in their monarchy and things like that. And they had their own principles. They had men serving them, as always, is subservient to them in that country. That's basically what it is. That's the rulership. And they were her subjects. They protected her all times, especially in Westminster and all them other places, all them rulerships. You know what I'm saying? That and that's how basically England got their rule and all the other stuff. You know, I ain't gonna go to history of England. We can go history of the antiquity of things like that, but we are not gonna discuss that. That's just how they was set the statute. You know what I mean? But most people they just want to get caught up in the other shit. But folks on this symbolism right here, this is different. Now our son's gonna rule for the remainder of the years, and then there'll be a replacement. It is what it is. I mean, England's on a different term and a different time path. And that's basically what I'm saying in so many words. But when you have rulership like that, dominance rules abroad, right? That's the thing about rulership. The rulership is just basically simple. You get in there and you do your thing, and that's whatever, you know, because her rulership is just going to be everlasting and peaceful. But as the time goes on, Prince Harry can't measure up the shoes that she done dealt with. You know what I'm saying? Like you gotta understand this stuff is pretty much, I'm not saying it's imaginary or things like that, but I'm just saying the stuff is very realistic. What's going on in so many words. I'm not saying that to anyone to stop their rulership. You know, their rulership is going to be what it is, but until the end times of countries will fallen to their mercy and going against the Most High's wishes, a lot of these countries are corrupt. But England's no different, and they allow that shit to go on forever and ever. But I didn't know she was gonna die this year and last week. That's not a shocker to me, but it was inedible. But I didn't realize she was that old. She lived to be what, 96 or 97 years old. Well, actually, technically 97 years old, but it was a 70-year rulership, pretty much. That's a long fucking time. Almost 100 years old as a queen. Lived that long. Often says she lived a great life. Yeah, a great bloody life at that. A lot of blood on her hands, but survived it all. But the demise, she was gone. You know what I'm saying? But that's just what it is. Yeah, 97. Yeah, that's correct. And it's just like, you know, I'm just like here like everybody else, and then you expect people to, and yeah, with 7 children, and then pretty much it. You know, the rulership is just here to maintain poise and what's going on. But the whole thing about the queen's death, and it's a lot of symbolism that we're talking about today, is pretty much like she's out here doing her own bidding and things like that. So the rulership is, so since we got the information and things like that nature, so we're gonna pull it up, whatever. And I'm just saying, like most people just going into it, so we in here. Yeah, white noise. Okay. Let's see what we got here. Fuck it, I'm gonna do it early. Okay. Let's see. No. We gotta share it. Not the music. Okay. It's a little bit. Yeah, share my screen for a minute. The wiki. Dump this on y'all. Maximize this a little bit. Oh God. Okay. Don't do that. What the fuck was that? Fuck out of here with that. Okay. Sorry about that. That was some bullshit ad came up there. Okay. Representation of women in the House of Commons of the United Kingdom has been issued to politics of the United Kingdom at numerous points of the 20th and 21st centuries. Originally debated centered whether women should be allowed to vote and stand for an election and members of the parliament. Parliament qualifications of women, qualification of women, but the Act of 1918. So, okay. Over 21, the right to stand for the election of the member of the parliament. United Kingdom has had female prime ministers like Margaret Thatcher, you know, from 1979, 1990. She had a long rule, but in the Conservative Party and then until 1990. Now she's gone. She's dead, but she had a long rule as prime minister. And then you got Theresa Mary, Lady May, that's 2019. And then you got your incumbent Liz Truss. Yeah, I seen her a lot on current Prime Minister of the United Kingdom, leader of the Conservative Party, but positions she's held since the 6th and the 5th of September 2020. But Truss has been a member of the Parliament. Like, yeah, I've seen her a lot on the world news, like French TV. They be showing these women off. And Theresa May, she didn't last long in Parliament. Publications of the book of Women in Elizabeth uh, Wallace, and then and all that stuff, and then between 1918 to 2020, a total of 559 women have been elected as members of the House of Commons. As of March of 2020, there was 225 in the House of Commons, and the highest ever. This is a new all-time high at 35%, and it's the first time the female representation in the House of Commons, and at the third, and the previous number was 208 and set in 2017, which accounted 32% of the members elected or reelected that year. And additionally, 2019 general election, more female than make labor MPs were elected and reelected. 104 women out of the 202's MPs in total. But the first time in labor history, then this was just happened. Female member of the parliament with the longest period of continuation serves is currently informally known as the mother of the house. Mother of the house. Margaret the longest rule. So, this is what I'm talking about, rulership. And then you got the queen that was in rulership. Well, these women were important to her. And this is why I brought this up, because the queen has a lot of symbolism. You got some in the conservative party. A lot of these people up here, and that's your current. And that's just what it is, and historical representation. And then you got your labor, S&P, liberal Democrats. I don't know why they call them liberal Democrats. Basically call them liberal Republicans. I don't know why that's interesting. So they're liberal. It means Republican, Democrats, one and the same, right? That's what they should say. Democrat, Republicans, instead of liberal Democrats. Interesting. Conservatives, of course. SDLP, Alliance, Green Party. Interesting. They got a Green Party. All that stuff, speaker and all that. Interesting. Political parties and stuff like that. So it's all one and the same. But then you got the women. In 1929, okay, Margaret Bonafide, she added Ellen Wilkinson. That was 1945-47, after the war. During the Korean War days, Florence Harsbrough at 54, okay, 1964 to 70 to 74 and 76, Barbara. It was labor. Barbara Castle, 1968, 1969, Judith Hart, of course. Margaret Thatcher, 1970 to 74, and then she ran again from 1979 from 1990. The longest rulership was Margaret Thatcher. She's conservative. And this is what I mean by long rulership. The Queen of England at that time was still Queen Elizabeth because she trusted for years, was dedicated. So 74 to 79, Shirley Williams didn't really last, but she came at it again in 79 to 90, the longest rule. So she was in 1970 and 74. The first go round was okay. So she lasted for some years, but she came back 79 and 1990 for the rulership. Different type of party. These are in ministries, probably different sections, but we ain't gonna get into that. And then conservative, 82, 83. So it's pretty much, people been in and out. So yeah, you got all the women in power and stuff. So we're gonna stop it right here, and we just show y'all. But if y'all want to link to this, that's in the Wikipedia. I'm just gonna put this out here. We'll copy this, save this to somewhere. Done. We're gonna dump it in the live. We're gonna dump it in the live. So it's pretty much it. So paste it. Let's see, paste it. Yeah, that's the first go around. Let's see. Let's see what and show. That's the first go around. So that's what you want. If y'all want to click on that, that's the one you want to stick with. That's what we're going to talk about. But the next thing, we're just going to keep it there. The next thing we're going to go to, I still have it up on my tab. So let's look at this AP. And we'll hide this. God damn it. No. Don't play. God damn it. Fuck are you doing? I hate when they do that shit. That's why I fucking hate the internet. I mean, block is cool, but I ain't paying for that shit. I ain't got time. These fucking mainstream sexuals, they always want to fuck up my shit, and then you wonder why people don't want to fuck with this internet. God damn it. That's why I hate the internet sometimes. They always want to control your shit. You need to fuck off. I ain't got time for that. It's bad enough. I'm not doing this for I'm just doing it to get content off the ground, and I'll be good. This channel's straight. If I get another channel, it'll be similar to what I'm talking about. We'll dumb it down and then do something else with the other stuff. Queen Elizabeth dead in 96. That's what they say, but technically 97. But after 70 years on the throne, Queen Elizabeth is Britain's longest reigning monarch and a symbol of stability. That's what they always say in turbulent era that saw the decline of the British Empire and disarray in her own family. Died Thursday after 70 years on the throne. She was 96. It was say, but technically 97 when she died. So certain reports, but the Palestine died. The Balmoral Castle, her summer residence in Scotland, where members of the had rushed to her side and took to deterrent for the worst. Yeah. So get this out the way. For the worst. And the link to the almost in the vanish in the generation of fought World War II, she was the only monarch most Britons have ever known for a long time. Yes, she ruled a long time. Everybody knew her. 23-year-old son, and will be King Charles. Is it? Well, we know King Charles III. It was announced British monarchs and selected new names upon taking the throne, but Charles' wife Camilla will be known as the Queen of Consort. But a funeral was held after the 10 days of the uh, 10 of mourning. But the BBC played the national anthem, "God Save the Queen," or the portrait of Elizabeth in full regalia. Yeah, full regalia as her death was announced, and the flag was in Buckingham Palace, was lowered to the half staff. The second Elizabeth age came to close. So this is symbolism once again. They talking about Associated Press. So we got here 10 things to know Queen Elizabeth's life, keystones in life. They talk about met. And I do know that she never met Lyndon Johnson. She met all the presidents except for one. It was Lyndon. I'm not gonna play that because that's a little video, a little statement, and things like. Whew. Ah, gotta get that sound out. Okay. And then it's pretty much it. But Queen Elizabeth, basically, the only monarch, but then this that George V died several years. So it's basically, just I just want to pull it up, and I'm not gonna do the rest. Y'all can look at the video yourselves. But yeah, I just read a little brief. We're gonna talk about. I'm gonna leave this up. We're gonna drop this here. I ain't trying to get for this shit. My associated bullshit. I got enough to deal with on YouTube. But damn. Now shit. Things raggedy as fuck sometimes. And I'm just gonna put this in here. Yeah, it's pretty much talking about her. And that, this is unprecedented. Anything that we talked about her, and then from last week, everybody's gonna talk about this for like weeks. But Elizabeth's a hot topic. Shit, I just wanted to give y'all, just post it up a little bit. Ain't got nothing certain. And what we brought women and things like that. I'm going to the royal families and the coffin and videos of her. Who's the new queen? They say how the queen died. Talking about that's a different. That's Elizabeth the First, her ancestry and things like that. But we ain't gonna get into that. So that's a whole nother, But Queen Elizabeth, like I said, her death is unprecedented, and it is what it is. We're gonna stop sharing, and I'm just gonna knock this off a little bit and just be mindful of that and go back to regular scheduled programming because I ain't got no screenshots for this week. So y'all enjoy what y'all can. You know, yeah, I don't want this freezing up in speed and shit. Yeah, warning to kill bit race. Yeah, because I won't get off this in a minute. Now the connection's good, but I'm just saying, but sometimes the stream can get a little laggy. But it's just what it is. But no, I think everything's good on my end. But it's pretty much like the queen, her death is very significant. Like a lot of people are gonna look at it like this. She was an icon to certain people and things that, and then she had a lot. And the history speaks for itself. And the reason I brought up those women, they know her since the rule. Okay, this stuff is nothing to play with. I mean, she could be a threat to others and things like that. But a lot of people love the queen, and I'm not saying they're brainwashed, but that's the stuff you got to deal with. I'm just, I'm just seeing it for what it is. Oh, I got an Asian chick follow me on Twitter. Okay, good luck with that, youngie. But you know how it is. But a lot of times I think people just want to be be mindful of that. That was her rule, because when the queen had that type of rule, and I showed y'all the links of, and and that's just what it is. And her rule is just like similar to Margaret Thatcher's. Her rule was dominant in the Conservative Party, and she knew the queen. And since her passing, well, the queen is bigger because everybody's gonna support that, and they're brainwashed, even though she's for certain secret societies. But we ain't gonna get into that. I already know who she aligned with certain things, but that was her group. That's why England is the way it is. But you gotta understand their monarchs is different than ours because they've been having this rulership and nobility for years. So a lot of people gotta understand questioning the power of the queen is very inedible. So you're not stopping anything in process of what's going on in that matter. So if you really want to get emotion, that's the thing about it. So the Queen of England is doing some damage. So if you basically understand what's going on, but that's how the world worked. It's very going to work. It's fine fluidity and things like that nature. So if y'all into the moment, the queen just showed you that. Yeah, I showed you a few links and things like that. If y'all want to expound on reading it or putting it in your favorites, I mentioned these women that ruled when they was alive, when they was in different parties, and she was their ruler over them. And then the Associated Press does more about the Queen. It's a lot more I can go on into, but I chose these topics because this is important. That's the symbolism of the Queen, because the Queen makes sure that her subjects was taken care of before her death was gone. So she had a ruling fief empire. It was a bloody, it wasn't no bloodless, but it was a bloody rule. Let's just call it what it is. I don't care about her ass or her royal family. I don't give a shit about that. She did what she did, and she what she was. I mean, she lived a great life of protection, even though she had her hands and everything by paperwork, by blood. It is what it is. A lot of people can hate me saying it, but it's the truth. No one cared about the queen like that. Even though when she passed away, everybody wants to bandwagon and say, "Oh, she was this and that." Y'all don't know the queen when she had that history. She had that dominance and rule, but that's how England got down. That's how they've always got down. So it's pretty much like the same old shit over and over again, the rigmaroles and things like the nature. But that's the rulership. You know what I'm saying? But her symbolism will impact the younger generation, especially the younger women and people like that. So you pretty much in the trenches of what you're getting into. So yeah, I had to say this. When I first saw, like, and then Paul Mooney, when he was like, he said she like a goddamn Billy Goat, and I started laughing my ass off. And he had some funny moments. It was hilarious. But what I thought of the Queen, I thought what she always been. Like, I didn't really care for her. Even when I was young, I didn't care for her. And Queen is something else. And people believe in that nobility shit. We know what happened to Princess Diana. She started liking niggas. They say, she went up dead. So, we don't get into that conspiracy because everybody knows about that, and they was behind that because they had like their own little secret society doing damage to one another, and that's just how sorry the queen was. No one cared. And then when they finally get exposed, everybody start changing their tune. Even the ones that went over your leader's head that were kings on the earth. You know what I'm saying? And that's their demise. That's what a man's demise. If you think over the value of the vagina and pussy, and a distraction, that's our demise. But when women rule, they rule for conquest too, worse than men. They was taught by kings. Her father was a somewhat of a king, but she understood the old principles and dominated. She was worse than Victoria's rulership. Victorian rulership makes sense. The utilitarian society, they got rid of that and then birthed the conservative society, their own little society, their own little monarch, and doing damage. So it's pretty much like when you have a queen like that, what's going on the general salute. And it's just that rulership is just there, like people got to be mindful of who you're dealing with, especially in a world like England is. Like England is one of those countries that's determined by fate like that. And that's just what it boils down to. What compassion you're gonna be. You know what I'm saying? That's the compassion. Yeah, I just saw this little post by BMT. Shouts out to him. Um, let's just say this. He said people are still hitting me up about my comments about LA gang culture. If you notice, LA rappers don't wear a lot of jewelry. Me, Snoop, Cube, Dre, Game, Kendrick, the list goes on. It's not because we're broke. LA is just a dangerous place, and rapper or not, why test the streets? Exactly. And then you got a queen destroys her subjects, the ones that's not a subjects, and if you disagree with the queen, they gonna do you bodily harm. And the police don't use guns, but them knives, of course, they can't stop that. Knife attacks. But we ain't gonna get into that. We ain't gonna get into that because I know it's controversial. But we're gonna stick on top about the queen. But the queen, just to say, the only difference to us, we just, the American spirit is different. But we're gonna speak on old boy's death. I know he's from Philly, but the girlfriend got him killed. Common thing. Common thing. We're gonna talk about this tomorrow. We're gonna talk about that shit tomorrow. And I have to agree with what Nathaniel said. It's a combination of both, and it's just sad, bro. But niggas get what they get. Well, we're gonna talk about it. They try to say it's the other shit. Nah, it's bullshit. The woman had something to do with that on the Instagram post. I know people don't like Star and everything, but no, Star's telling the truth. And this is not a East Coast thing. No, they kill each other over there as well. But that's just the bottom line. And I'm just telling it like it is. Some people just need to chill. They overreaching. We're gonna talk about old boy. I know he's Philadelphia's favorite, but he's better off. But back to the topic of the queen, because the queen is the most important topic right now. Because I feel like the queen is just like her death has gotten everybody tripping last week, and I want to speak on this so bad because her rule lets you know what time it was back then, and then back then she dominated with an iron fist. A lot of dudes wasn't ready for that and expect change over time. That's just the thing. So it's pretty much it, but and that's just what it is. Yeah, that's a whole nother subject. Yeah, yeah. That's a good comment. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. That's a whole nother feat. You know what I'm saying? But most people gotta understand this stuff is painful to hear that oh boy was passing and all that. But we ain't gonna speak. We'll speak on that shit tomorrow and I'll give my thoughts on it. But you gotta understand something. Like the world's changing. People dying left and right. Since he died, the Queen died last week. Got a big hoorah by these fake supporters. She didn't give a fuck about y'all asses long term. So what do you expect? You know what I'm saying? But y'all gotta understand that she didn't give a fuck about none of you niggas on this side of the planet, especially in Americas. You gotta deal with the shit that you gotta deal with, right? So that's the shit that you got to be mindful of. You know what I'm saying? But I'll have to step away real quick and I'll be right back. Yeah, I'm back. But it's pretty much it. Like, yeah, I'll go a little longer just now, Yeah, for the next, yeah, I'll go a little longer. This may be an hour. I'll stay on it for like 15 minutes, and I ain't got that much to say about the Queen, but I just post y'all the links or whatever if y'all want to see whatever. But this stuff with her and that rulership, it's a lot of symbolism behind her because I think once you understand the Queen's rule, it's pretty much it. I think a lot of people just need to understand that once you get in this position and have power, she has that long time rulership for a reason. So she ruled it like an iron fist, man. She did what she did. But that's why I talked about it last week a little bit because her death was not really. It was a little shocker to me, but I don't think it was a shocker. And I didn't realize she was that old. She was almost 100 something years old ruling like that. That could have been like a 73, 74, 75, or 80-year rule. That's a long damn time. I ain't seen that type of rulership since the days of, studying the medieval times and things like that. And that rulership holds some weight. You know what I'm saying? It holds a lot of weight. And then when people get into it, they understand what they're saying in so many words. So basically, you're hearing the same thing, right? So that's the thing that you're gonna hear. So let me turn the little, yeah, turn that thing off. So getting back in motion. Yeah, 70-year rule. Yeah, 70 years. You know how it is. That 70-year rule ain't no joke, man. It just boils down to what we seeing and what we haven't. But get upset and things like that. Oh my God, this little thing. Oh man, this live streaming thing over here. I'm not gonna post that. I ain't trying to get straight. But I was watching this little 24 hour. I didn't seen it. Guess what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna drop it for a minute because I'm live streaming because I can't do that and risk my channel to be hit. You know what I'm saying? It ain't much. I'm over here listening to my boy over here acting crazy, but yeah, this week is wild, man. It's very wild. Uh oh. Uh oh. Uh oh. Uh oh. Oh shit. Uh oh. I stopped fucking with dude long time. But shouts out to Supreme Elder going into that clown, bro. Not a damn thing. I won't talk bad about them niggas. I know people's pro MGTOW and all that. I don't care. You niggas are soft. And they want to support that Mount Manor fuck. That's a whole nother topic. I ain't gonna get into that. That's gonna be an outside stream. We won't talk about that clown shit. Y'all niggas is falling apart, bro. But is it really does it really did anything? But that's just the thing. Most people don't expect people to do anything long term. I'm just saying for the sake of argument, why wouldn't they? You know what I'm saying? Like I understand that people don't like me talking about these important subjects and things like that. But the queen is the most important because I felt like she's the one that has that dominance over the years, and niggas just wasn't ready for it. You know what I'm saying? They just expect different changes, different outlooks, and things like that nature. So it's pretty much the same. But you know, I don't know what to set this. I won't hold it for now, and then I'm just gonna get this in motion. So it's pretty much it. But y'all hearing me now because I think the queen is just when her death, I'm just like not really surprised when she passed away. It's just like people are like, oh my god, the queen died. Oh, you know how niggas be. You know how people be. I don't care about this shit. It was gonna happen anyway, because how is she gonna rule forever? Like the bitch lived a long time. She care about her damn kids. She care about a few, like Prince Harry, Prince Charles were a few others, but 7 children. Always looking for rulership. But it is just what it is. They try to keep that legacy going. That's how the rulership of England is. Nobody's conquested yet. But that's very, very interesting how they kept that rule. And that military is mighty tight. Very interesting. Very interesting rules. You know what I'm saying? That's the world that we live in, and people expect England to be here forever, which we highly doubt. There's gonna be some conquest. Everybody's getting up for this modern war. Modern war matters to certain people. So certain people got to survive to live to maintain what we see right now. You know what I'm saying? So it's not much, nothing new. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying y'all wrong about shit. I'm just playing with gear right now, so see what works and what sticks out, and then that's my panel shit. I love to use that, but something tell me don't use it. I've used that a lot. There's no need. I'll switch to the other one in a minute and set this one down, turn it down, so when it gets to the album, I'm gonna coast. Let y'all know that that's certain things you got to look at, right? And that's the thing that you got to see. Some things you just got to put in perspective that people need to hear, right? And that's the thing I'm looking at. So if you're looking at things that from that perspective, you got to be mindful what time it is. That's how I'm gonna look at it. But I get it. I get it. I get that people that's not on board of what I'm saying about the queen and everything else, but it's important. It's important because I believe when you talk about the queen, you just get it. You get this little high velocity in your voice, and you be like, "Oh man, this is a sign we're talking about the queen, her sorry ass, and that rulership." And they very thought she had a bloodless. No, she had a blood rulership. She was involved in a lot of shit, even though she did some good. But who wants to trust the queen after that? The shit she done. Nobody. You got most people celebrating. Most people wasn't celebrating. Online, they was just you got certain streams they was celebrating. The rest that didn't celebrate, they love that blinded symbolism. And that's basically what it is. On her passing, it just shows you the dominance that she had, and then Margaret Thatcher and all of them. They had a lot of power back then. So her rule, her best years, I hate to say, when Margaret Thatcher was ruling before I was even, well, yeah, before I was even born. Her first two, and the second there, I say there since the 1990. That was it. That was two. That was before my time. But she had a law rule. I didn't get to see that because I wasn't alive at that time until like the late 80s. I was born, and that's heard about her. She had a long fucking rule. Oh, it matters to them, big time. Matters to them hard. I'm trying to figure out Ash German and English. Well, you got to understand. The original Saxons came from Germany. A lot of people try to say that ain't true. No, it is true. They're not originally from England. If you believe they from England, you don't know your history. I talk about that a lot. The original Saxons came from Germany. You have to read different books and different research, and I can tell you, and even the dark history streams I talk about, the original Saxons come from Germany. England was no country. People that act like it was a no, it didn't exist until later on. It didn't exist. It was other territories, or they would call it Britannia, didn't exist. It was founded later on. Years ago, it was a wilderness. See, Germany had a history, the Franks and all that, the Byzantine Empire, if you want to get technical, that's the period that you got to understand where the origin comes from. I know about the nobility, so I can go in and all that all day. For hour straight or pre-records, I could talk about that for hours of the nobility rights. So people need to understand. They don't understand why they come from. Well, this is the truth. It's factual. I got certain street, certain evidence to back that up, and a certain website that can back me up on it as well. And that's pretty much accurate. You can tell other countries didn't have that, but Germany was the main vocal point where the Holy Roman Empire started, and it spread out to Rome and everywhere else. We actually started in Rome, then Germany. That was it. Germany were the Franks. The Franks were Germans. They were Germans. And then they had like a little feud with France. Y'all know that history. The Renaissance period. It's in movies and most video games. Noticeably, that had the stealth edition, like Assassin's Creed, broke that down. What happened? Amerigo Vespucci was an explorer. He was a navigator, and they named this country after him by Italian. All structured in a military Italian form, especially the church. So, the Anglo, see, Anglo, that means white in some aspects. They have that Anglo head shape. That's where you get the term Anglo-Saxon. But the original Saxons were originally from Germany. So that's a whole nother, feed on that. I'm not gonna get into the depths of that history. That's pretty much it, because I'm just telling you from my perspective, what I've researched and studied, and others and people saying that that's from here. That's pretty much it. Because what you're getting, the meat of it, you understand her bloodline matters, and it's a nobility thing. That nobility talk's been around forever. Nobody's really practicing that long term since the 13th century and on down. So nobody's really practicing in the 21st century. So we get it. Came from other Germany, and then the Germanic lands. Isn't that I don't understand? Her earlier predecessors are not related to her family. Well, it's a whole. That's a whole nother. Degenerate. That's a whole nother subject right there. Because that. See, there's a lot of fake shit going on. Because with them, they're a question mark. See, they can't trace that lineage of the originals because that's why the Moore story is so hidden from them. And, they can't tamper with it. So yeah, England has a lot of shit to explain. That's just them. They want to give you this base history of them, but it's bullshit. Till you deal with blood DNA, you be like, all right, they over here lying, and that's what these motherfuckers been doing for years, and want you to believe their nobility, and there they are. So yeah, oh, you are aware. Okay, great, great. I'm about to say because most people they're not aware. I'm just speaking to the ones that's not aware. But yeah, and I was trying to tell you, if you do your history and your research, Jenner say he's aware, and I'm aware myself. You got to be mindful. That's the stuff that you got to talk about in history. That's real shit that we're talking about. So it matters what we say and what we speak on. So again, her nobility is just it's a whole all time high. So okay, let me get over here for a minute. And go to someone else's another stream, even though I'm talking about the shit. And I'm just saying, like, let's see it. Oh Lord. This is gonna be funny. This is gonna be hilarious. I'm gonna have to screenshot some of this bullshit. I'll talk about her next week. Yeah, let me screenshot this bullshit. Nah, delete that. Let me see this. Let me see this. Hold on. Get y'all something better. Yeah, get y'all something better. Yeah, get y'all. I'm gonna talk about this bullshit next Thursday. I got y'all some shots. Don't y'all worry. Yeah, I'm not talking about this Thursday. I want to talk about this nasty thing. But yeah. I'm somewhat aware of that Welsh were the OGs of Britain. Yeah, 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 yeah. I'm familiar with that too. I can go on and all day. I could speak on that for hours, man. You're talking to the right channel. I go in depth on all that shit. A lot of niggas when they ask me about that shit all the time. Yeah, I study that shit and go in detail what that's about. Nobility was a thing back in the day. My nerves start falling out. Ears start popping and bargling. Man, I don't have to peel my ears back. Yeah, my sinus itches all the time. It ain't the headphones, it's just me. My body's itching. Because I took a shower earlier today. Yeah, make me itch. And I'm kind of a little drainy. But I'm not too drainy because my ears is not stopped up. Because that means if I have something in my ears, I'm get kind of sleepy. My brain goes to sleep. I already did that. I nod my head a few times. So I feel better now, because that's the stuff that you deal with. The weather's changing real soon because, fall's approaching. But it's not yet. It's still summer, but fall's still approaching. It's gonna be instant fall. You're gonna see a lot of people be inside more, and you start seeing who they're gonna do their things. But yeah, but the queen, her rulership is dominance is everything, and people were intrigued by her mystique with her passing. Everybody just want to say, "I used to love the queen back in the day." Such as I was like, "Oh, you niggas is fake. No, you didn't. Y'all just capping. Y'all capping." Even the ones who went on vacation, yeah, are they real serious about the queen? Absolutely not. And it's pretty much it. It's just you just get what you get, and that's just basically what I'm saying. Like in so many words, you just out here doing it. You know what I mean? So yeah, my ears all busted up, but that's how I look at it. But the queen just her death it just really didn't mean much to me because when you're solid like that, you're solid. What's going on that a lot of times people talk about the queen 95% of the time. But when you get into this stuff, you know your history, you know your work, you know your research, and then you just get into the motion of what the queen was doing. So I'm pretty much here. And that's just how I look at it. Margaret Thatcher is a great example. I think people just look at her like, oh, she's a long ruling prime minister and things like that. Yeah. And then the queen was, as long as the queen knew how great she was. And that just shows you England's in a unique spot. They're not really a terrorist threat, but that's just where they are as a people. So you're pretty much in the ballpark, man. Let me take this off for a minute off the surgical power. Yeah, get y'all some life up in this motherfucker. I know my little my little device don't pull that much power. That's why I'm keeping it. I'm keeping it for now. I'm just keeping it. Just work on my interface. My interface is straight. Only got three. Need another one. Does it block sound? I'm gonna do some research. Which one that blocks sound? Which one's compatible? I'm gonna keep this one for now. Yeah, my ears is acting up. My nerves is popping. That's what it gets when I start itching and shit like that. When your nerves starts popping, you already know what time it is. And that's what happens when your nerves fall out and things like that, and it starts itching and lurking out. But yeah, I know a lot of people on Twitter going in on the queen. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Everybody's gonna go in on her. Yeah, she's full of shit. Everybody can't stand her. And then you got some that's the shields. They want to be supporters of it. I'm like, man, y'all not for that. Stop it. Y'all just over there bullshit. Where was this when she was alive? You support. Y'all scared. Y'all shook when that bitch went in the ground. Like, ain't nobody studying that thing. No one gives a fuck about that royal family. I know I'm disrespectful now, but who gives a fuck? No, I don't really care. But her symbolism is powerful, man, because people are mesmerized by her mystique and they was blinded on bullshit. That's what you see now. That's all I gotta say about the queen. But the queen is finito. She's done. No one cares. She ain't got that much power and influence to see like that. Dinosaur. But you gotta look at it. People's worrying about the nigga dying. We'll talk about him tomorrow. But that's just the thing about when rulership comes to change. But Prince Charles or whatever, known as King Charles now, this is going to be very interesting how England's going to move different without the woman ruling. And they're not going to be a different country. They're going to be the same country. They're just going to be more soft as hell because she implemented plans to fuck up everybody's shit. That's the whole purpose of it. You know what I'm saying? But that's just how I'm going to look at it in so many words. Let me turn the other one up. Yeah, let me turn the other one up. And I'll put this one down. Three, two, one. He says smoking on the Lizzo pack. Oh, what's going on? All right. But but the queen is just like I'm just like saying, hey man, it is what it is. It is what it ain't. But most people they just gotta understand that when you're dealing with the Queen of England, the former Queen of England, most people say rest in power, rest in peace. I say rest whatever, she just what she was. But you gotta understand something. The Queen had a rule that lasted for 70 years. That's a long damn time. A long damn time to crush souls of motherfuckers. They wasn't even ready for the fact that she had so much power and presence that you see people they just don't want to be a part of it no more. And the fact that she ruled for 70 years, that's just saying something, right? That's monumental what's going on in the world today. So you're pretty much in it and you'll be like, all right, this is it. This is time and it's fulfilling. You know what I'm saying? But that's pretty much it. Like the Queen and things like that. Because I know an hour's about to come in. I'll do it for like at least 5 minutes or 10 minutes. I'll be on it for 10 minutes. So don't you worry, because this ain't no. I think this is not a 2 hour stream worthy now. Because the next one may not be. Because I might read a little bit, add some more information. May do something different. Because eventually, when I do these Wednesday streams, they'll be pre-recorded in a live. I'll record it, and then there you are. I'll have something in motion. It's not gonna be this month, but next month you're gonna start seeing more of that, and it's gonna be common. I'll just do Thursdays and Sundays to stream. So because instead of Wednesdays is gonna be lightheartedness and things like that. So you're gonna see a lot of things in motion, right? And that's just how I'm gonna put it down to y'all. So when you get in these long live streams, people will be in it and they'll be like, all right, and that's content, right? So people like to put their stuff out there. I won't put mine out there just officially. I'm just live streaming this to let y'all know I can do this long termly and whatever. So yes, hour in, we're good. Just give me 10 more minutes and I'll, greet everybody. We appreciate people coming through. It is what it is. Like, I just say, like, when the queen passed away, I'm not really shocked. I was shocked at first, but then I realized, no, she ruled a long time. It was 70 years. Oh, it was about her time to rule to be in. It's over. It's a lot of things over. That rule was dominant. A lot of sick shit going on. And her rule, she done seen it all in decades of every era in the 20th century. In the 20th century, her rule was magnificent. It was powerful. And she seen a lot of shit. Yeah, she saw racism, but she saw a lot of presence and power. She came in the days of old when it was classic, not this smartphone and all that other shit. She wasn't ready for that. Cause that was very minuscule back then. You know what I'm saying? Very minuscule. What you see now. And that's the thing. Like, most people gotta understand the stuff that we hear now, it's nothing new. And I'm surprised she didn't never met Lyndon B. Johnson, because Lyndon B. Johnson didn't really last long as president. They say he did, but technically he did, but he really didn't. He didn't last long as president. He was a figment of history that was a failure. What's wrong with the world now? That's why you have a lot of them end up becoming Republican. I told you about that Barry Goldwater history. I still stand on that principle, and it works. That's just bottom line. Nerves falling out. I feel much better now. Yeah. Appreciate the 5 likes to the certain individuals stepped in. Appreciate y'all for stopping by. Much needed. But because this topic had to get out. But tomorrow, we're gonna talk about, oh boy, the recent current event and my thoughts on the take I saw from Tuesday. Shouts out to Ask Nathaniel. I enjoyed his stream talking about that bullshit. Roscoe Chicken and Waffles. This is like a little public service announcement. We'll get back to the subject with the Queen and just go in on her ass. And he did a great job on that stream and explaining. And I co-sign everything he said, man. Like, I'll speak on it tomorrow night, same time as always. And y'all get ready for Sunday Madness 38. And, we get free for all topics and we talk about something else. What's new going on this weekend and whatever. But this week, we're going to talk about that PNB Rock dude from Philly. We got to talk about him. That shit's wild. That's what you see in so many words. But you got to understand, most people just ain't going to rely on anything. So that is what it is. But when I look at it like this, like the Queen's death and the Time and Old Boy's death is right around the same year. Interesting, in the same month. It's gonna be a lot of things people are going left and right for, but you gotta understand that's the world we live in, and everything's trending and things like that. So people are going to talk about certain things, but the Queen, like the reason I talk about this, this is my actual political content. I feel like her conservatism culture would mess with modern society, so she had to tone that shit down by a lot of people. Same with other people. Nerves feel good when I get them unitched, and that's how you got to look at it. And that's how you got to look at it in so many words. But when the queen does damage, she's pretty optimized in her opportunity to move in and whatever. But Prince Charles, or excuse me, King Charles, is gonna take all her assets and resources to dominate the rest of the world. So it's a military strategy behind this. It's a combination of a lot of things behind it. So you got to pretty much wait and see. See, when you have people in power like that, folks, things get hectic, and that's just what it is. It gets hectic. But yeah, it's just like the symbolism of her death. It's just like it's very much obvious, very much obvious. Yeah, I'm good. Okay, okay. As long as it's good. All right, cool, cool. And that's just pretty much it. That's pretty much it. And he has that power. It's gonna be very interesting in the next coming years. I'll say from 23 to from 24. It's gonna be very interesting. He's 70 some years old. Will he last that long? Me personally, I think he'll last at least about 10 to 15 years or more. It's pretty much what you're saying. Like, he just new to it, and then he expects people to be more enjoy it, right? So, I can get this clear and this off for a minute. Yeah, I'll take y'all off this. Hold on for a second. Yeah, off this for a minute. So got the line all off right now. So it's pretty much like, you just understand what's going on and things of that nature. So, and then you just go into it and all that. So it's pretty much one and the same. And yeah, he said gray skull now. Oh, he over here trolling. But it is pretty much like, I don't understand why people worship the queen, man. Like last week, I said, man, that bitch didn't even give a fuck about none of you niggas, man. None of you niggas ain't built for that type of rulership. Y'all wouldn't even last in the queen because y'all was shook when she was alive. A lot of people said, I wasn't shook. Nigga, you was shook. You was shook in the military. I mean, I know they military ain't shit compared to this sorry country, but it's just what it was. I mean, she was bloody and did some bloody shit, secret shit that people knew about, and some research to back up what she did. And then you got other half just didn't give a fuck. I didn't give a fuck about her death. I'm glad she's gone. Like it is what it is. But that's the whole purpose of looking at it from the right way. But you got people that's delusional and shills love the queen. That's just bottom line. Like you're not gonna stop people from not liking people. They're gonna love some idiots, and that's just part of it. Most worlds a little bit narcissistic as it is. It's pretty much it, you know. And that's just the thing about you know. Oh, it's a long story, man. Hey, that rulership, yeah, she got it by conquest. Yeah, she did some shit, and that's a whole nother topic. I can spill on that. I'm waiting for the 10-minute mark, but that's pretty much it. So, like the queen, I talked about it. I talked about it earlier in the stream and posted, and then the women in the comments that met her and she met her, and that's just how it is. And I posted this. The women of common of the United Kingdom and talk about politics in a little bit. Y'all can check that out. And that's pretty much it. So I'm just gonna put this down for a minute and I'll look at the real new messages. I don't know about all that. She was already at the age when she died, so I don't know about that. I ain't speaking on that bullshit. I don't know what the hell you talking about. But she did die though, because it was unexpected to me. But it is what it is. So when you see things like this, the symbolism behind that is like it's inevitable, man. Like, she knew she was gonna die. She had no choice. So it's pretty much it. So, y'all give me 1 second, I'll be right back. All right, I'm back again. I'm back again. Back again. Back again. And it's just what it is. When she's back at it again, so the death of her is just like it's inevitable. Oh damn, it's already 12 minutes. All right, but shouts out to everybody that came through today. Mike, salute, man, salute, salute. I don't know who this guy is in the chat. I know he's just a subscriber, but appreciate you for coming. Who else is coming through? Degenerate. Appreciate you coming through. Who else came through? And Psycho Candy. Shouts out to you, man. Shouts out to everybody that came through, man. This is on a notice. I think, I think one of the reasons why I touched on this subject right here, because I should have said it last week, but I was distracted with some other shit. But see, once I get into my political stuff, I just get into it and just like, do the research and whatever. It's been a minute because I ain't watching a lot of news lately. I try to stay away from the war topic of Ukraine and all that shit. That shit is very daunting. A lot of people get tired of hearing that shit. They try to say they're losing, which is bullshit. Russia ain't winning nothing. Let's cut it out. They ain't got no military like that. And we got the CIA watching this shit like it's on crack or whatever. Y'all gotta stop. Y'all gotta stop that bullshit. Y'all gotta stop the cap. So it's pretty much, okay. So it's pretty much like I'm seeing it right now. I'm not really surprised about it. Thursday Thrills is just, we're gonna talk about old boy's death too and things like that. So it is what it is, but it is what it ain't. But her death is like people just panicking and like, oh my gosh, we're they over here tripping like y'all ain't the queen didn't give a fuck about none of you niggas, bro. She is what she was. She did some dirt, and then y'all just gotta move forward. That's all I'm gonna say about it. And that's just how you're gonna look at it. So it's pretty much like I'm like, okay, we here, we're doing this, and we like, all right, is this what we're doing? Is this what we're doing? Is this what we're doing? But shouts out to everybody, man. But appreciate the people stopping by. This is like on the notice. And I'm signing off. Peace and shalom. And I'll see y'all tomorrow, same time, 8:15. That may be a 2-hour one because I'll going to really go in on the subject of old boy's death and what I think about it. So with that, I'm going to say peace.